came from. I want to see, and I'm really excited to talk about this topic today. It is dear to my heart. Your standards will choose you if you are not conscious of them. Choosing a man and choosing a life partner is one of the most important decisions of your life. It's how you're going to show up as a mother, as a wife, as a leader, and you need to choose your standards before they choose you. If you have ever come across patterns attracting the same event, drama, person, but in a different face and in a different body, time and time again, this video is for you. If you have struggled with speaking your truth, your worth, if you have struggled with a narcissist in the past, or going all in for men that are not all in for you, at the first instance of chemistry and attraction, you wonder where it all went wrong. If you've gone into dead-end relationships, if you've been single for a long time, or you've just come out of a divorce, or you've had children with the wrong men, this video is to prevent all women from making the same mistakes over and over again. And especially if you are a woman who has not yet had children, or you are not married, this video is so crucial because now you are setting yourself up for success for the future. Because I truly believe that conscious women create conscious children, choose conscious, loving men as partners, and therefore are able to create beautiful new generations and new families. So let's go into not just how to attract a high value man or a high value woman. I want to discern, because I've in the past shared a lot of topics around princess treatment and how to receive devotion and how to feel chosen and how to be in queen treatment when it comes to dating. And that is all well and good, but when it comes to longevity and a life partner, you have to align in things like vision, mission, values. So I will talk all about that. Now, the first thing when it comes to choosing the right partner is to do your own work. So that looks like even getting clear on what you want. And for most high achieving women, when we grow up with a father wound, you grow up with the hyper independent wound. So this looks like, you may not call yourself hyper independent, because I spent a lot of my life just believing that I was independent, but I never known the difference between hyper independence. So hyper independence can look like finding yourself believing that you are the only woman that can do the best job at this. So it almost becomes where you can do everything on your own, you don't let anyone help you, you're almost that woman that is isolated. She feels alone, she feels like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Doesn't matter how many people are around you, doesn't matter if you have a team, because you're going to keep confirming the belief that you are alone, that you have to carry the load. And this hyper independence may be dressed up as running your own, being a solopreneur, being a freelancer, running a really intense, high achieving business. So this is also when the father wound can bleed out into being loved and feeling worthy just from achieving. So this can look like needing to have a certain income, feeling validated when you're on business class, feeling validated once you've reached a certain milestone in income, feeling worthy once you have reached millionaire status, or chasing this money and chasing success and accolades, and feeling worthy once you reach these milestones. So then back in I would say a year ago, I would be sitting in my 2-story duplex. I was in Argentina at the time, and I remember I made my first 17k month, and I was feeling like I was above everyone else, because all the digital nomads, they were either working a 9 to 5 or they were working their butts off, and I was feeling superior to everyone. But at the same time, I also felt like it was still not good enough. I needed to do more, and in my mind, I was constantly chasing the triple numbers. Like I just needed, it was like, oh, this fire within me that wanted big numbers and big, to triple my income and just to like do big things, because I placed so much of my worth on external numbers, on feelings, on men, on even just 7-figure, 6-figure titles, or just being able to call myself, like, let's say, a 6-figure entrepreneur, or making a $10,000 a month. All those things drove me to these feast and famine cycles. So that's another part of the father wound. It's going up and down and not really having stability in your nervous system to hold that money, because whether, let's say, you're working a 9 to 5 or you're in a career, yes, you may be making a stable income, but you find that you somehow overspend, or you come to the end of the month and you don't know where all your money went. There is this inability to hold it. That's also part of the father wound. When you're not able to hold that money in your bank account because it's going out in random expenses, in areas where you have no idea where all this money is going, and so you're constantly chasing your tail and spinning your wheels and not feeling safe with money. Can you teach your body to feel safe when you have $0 in your bank account? Or not just safe, but valuable and worthy? Because if you can teach yourself to find peace in the moments, or even abundance, feeling rich in the moments where your bank account and your life just does not reflect that at all, there's the $0, the negatives. I have taught my body to feel the most abundant even when I had nothing. When I was eating flour. And that was and it's such a beautiful way to rewire your body and also manifest the things in your life. So I see some comments here, actually, I didn't even realize. So I want to go deeper into the hyper independent wound, and then the father wound of high achieving women, especially high achieving men, but more specifically women today, because we want to be able to choose partners that are going to sustain the family unit, and therefore the children that will grow up feeling safe, seen, supported. That is the one mission that I would love to see the most. And when we look at our patterns from what we've grown up with, especially around the father wound, we see that these women don't actually just want to be alone. They don't want to just carry everything on their own, but they're seen as the ones that have the career, they have the success, they have the business, they have their stuff together, they're so capable, they're independent. And so when I say hyper independence, I mean those kind of women. You need to learn to lean on support, to be dependent on someone else, to ask for help when you need help. And albeit that's something I've really come across to learning, and like allowing that to feed into my life recently. Okay, now I want to go into the vision, mission, and direction, because why we don't, I'm not going to talk about, okay, how to get a man to give you princess treatment, because I know how to do that. I know how to get a man to treat you really, really well, to take you on incredible dates, on luxury dates, on fine dining. I can teach you all those things, how to get a man to get you flowers, to buy you gifts. Like, we're not here for that. I want you to create conscious families. So first things first is getting clarity on yourself and doing the inner work and healing the patterns. So like I mentioned, the father wound, then we want to talk about the mother wound. The mother wound is typically your inner world. How worthy do you feel? And how much do you love yourself, right? Like this emotional nurturing from the mother is what is going to allow you to tap into your feminine energy. I can do a whole other video on feminine masculine energy. However, I want to talk about the subconscious work. That's your first number one. Your number one pillar is healing and doing your inner work. That's how you get clarity on what you want in a partner, on what you want for your future, on what you want for your value, or what your values are, what your mission in your life is, how you envision your future. And the more you do this, the clearer you will get. Okay, and for me, I had spent my entire life not wanting children. I said to myself, Renee, you're gonna just build a career and you are going to never even think of even maybe having children because you need to travel the world, you need to fulfill your own life first. And as I did start traveling the world on my journey while I was traveling, I learned how much I deeply wanted family, because at the end of the day, when you're 80, you want to be surrounded by people that you love and that love you. And I realized the importance of dependence on not just being independent, that's how we become so isolated and so lonely, but it's from depending on other people and letting other people depend on us. So like, let's say a pet, or let's say friendships, or a partner, or children. Being dependent and being dependent on is what can give us such fulfillment. I'm actually looking at plans that I will not share as of quite yet, but I will share once on social media, on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram. So once we get clear on these values of ours, on what we want for our vision and our future, that's how you can get clear on your non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables when it comes to men, when it comes to dating? For example, it can be not drinking. If that's something that's so important for you that you don't drink alcohol, you don't want your partner to drink as well, because that's alignment in your lifestyle. Perhaps it is not smoking. For me, that is not smoking, because I know that it's completely misaligned with health, and one of my biggest values is taking care of your body, taking care of your health. Whether that is not partying, or someone that doesn't watch porn, or someone that doesn't have children, or lives in the same country as you. Once you've gotten clear on who you are, then you've gotten clear on your non-negotiables. Then you've gotten clear on your values. You want someone to align with your values. And when it comes to values, what you may have, let's say the top 3 values in yourself, whether that's family, relationships, love, loyalty, honesty, respect, money, freedom, abundance, health. But then someone, let's say, has the same values, but maybe their order of value is different. So then let's say if someone values family first, but your family value is number 5 at its priority, perhaps you want your first one is abundance and career and money. Now this person's already wanting to have a family, and you are wanting to go hard on your career. Now these values, you have the same values, however the order in the priority of values are different. So you either compromise if there is alignment in love and in capacity, in alignment, in compatibility, you may want to grow together. Otherwise, there may be friction there. Once you got clear on your values, you want to also get clear on what you want for the future. Okay? And it is important to align on all these things, especially lifestyle. So I am someone that goes to bed early, I eat very well, and you can attract partners and men that either aligned with those lifestyles or is not aligned with you. It is completely up to you what your non-negotiables are. Even if you are, let's say, like Christian, or you're very spiritually based, your religion is so important to you, you want someone that fits that religion, or you just want someone that really just understands you and understands you and sees you mind, body, and soul. Now, when it comes to healing and doing that inner work, so you got clear on yourself, you know exactly what you want, then we can move into nervous system regulation. And what nervous system regulation is teaching your body to feel safe in when it comes to attachment styles. For the longest time, we have been taught to do mindset work. We are taught to do therapy and read books and listen to podcasts, and that all works here in a mental level, but your nervous system and your body is what will manifest or what will attract that very partner or that very thing or that very circumstance. You don't attract what you want, you attract what your nervous system believes is safe. So if you've heard of the 4 attachment styles, we have the secure, the anxious, the avoidant, and the disorganized attachment style. To explain it briefly, the secure is someone that is secure within themselves, they know their worth. The anxious attachment is someone that is the overtexter that needs validation from others outside themselves to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel loved. So it's like that neediness almost. That's an anxious person that's like, oh my god, I need to constantly be in touch with you and texting you and do you love me and da da da. There's obviously a spectrum to it, but that's typically very anxious. And then you've got the avoidant. The avoidant is someone that feels suffocated from love because there's this level of fear of intimacy. So this is the one that's like kind of got one foot in and one foot out and always like avoiding connection. Then you've got disorganized, which is the mix of anxious and avoidant. You've got someone that really wants love, but then also runs when there's deep intimacy. So that's the one with the deeper trauma. Now, why I talk about nervous system regulation is because if you have any of these attachment styles, no matter who you date, what country you go to, what ethnicity you date, you can decide whatever it is that you want in life, you are going to always attract what your nervous system feels is safe. So if you're someone that's quite anxious, maybe you attract the avoidant. Until you really teach your body how to feel safe in intimacy, how to feel safe in connection, how to feel rooted in who you are. And when you heal, so I really had such a deep anxious attachment style. I really healed the anxious attachment style within me, where I used to feel overly obsessed with getting a text back. I would give my all to the wrong man, and I kept attracting emotionally unavailable men because they were just mirroring back my own wounds to me. And so once I heal that anxiousness, that fears of deep abandonment, I stopped attracting emotionally available men. I stopped feeling attracted to emotionally unavailable men. Those men just don't even even not in my sight. I only feel drawn to men that want me, that pursue me, and that show interest in getting to know me. Then we want to go into, I wonder if this is like, if I'm on a horizontal and everyone's on the portrait. Just let me know in the comments if that's the case, because then I need to fix that up. Well, that's okay. So once we regulate the nervous system, when we can do this also through breath work, we can do this through EFT, we can do this. I actually have a course called Rewire. If you comment the word Rewire, I can send the link to you. This is what allows your body to feel safe in choosing and breaking the pattern once and for all. Deep nervous system regulation. Whew. Keep teaching your body, because your body will always attract those patterns no matter what. Then what we want to do is get into, like I've spoke, the vision, mission, and direction, compatibility and alignment, subconscious reprogramming and pattern awareness, nervous system regulation, and capacity. One thing I want to talk about capacity. So one thing that modern dating fails to talk about, which I have not seen, there is so much advice on social media about how to get a man to treat you right, what are the red flags, what to spot out, how to know if he loves you, how to get him obsessed. Like, all of this stuff on social media does not talk about a fundamental piece, which is called your nervous system's capacity. So let's say, and I'll give you a real life example. I met the perfect man. He was compatible, aligned, vision, mission, values, everything. Lifestyle was aligned. We did the same line of work. He's been doing trauma work for the last 9-10 years. So what I believe could go wrong? Nothing, I don't know. But the one thing that did go wrong is at the peak of intimacy, there was a very unconscious level, and this is why it's so subconscious. Our behavior and our actions will always match our subconscious, and we may consciously think, oh, I want family, oh, I want children, oh, I want love, but then your behavior will completely mislead that. So let's say your nervous system capacity, if it fears deep level of intimacy, or if it fears being relied on emotionally, because let's say you've got a very overbearing mother as a child, and let's say, like, this is where avoidant men are bred. Like, they are the ones that feel like love and intimacy is suffocating very unconsciously if they've done a lot of work, or if they have not done any sort of work on themselves. It's very overt that they are the typical ones that will ghost, the ones that will not give you clarity. But then there's ones that are very conscious, when I dated the conscious one, he also still had that capacity, and he left completely blindsided me for the reason because he maxed out on his capacity. And that can only be revealed through time. There is no amount of advice on the internet that can help you uncover this capacity. It just has to be, you have to date, you have to take your time, pace yourself, and see what happens. And if he ends things, even though everything was perfect, you just have to allow yourself to grieve. Okay, then we want to also find a leader, like a partner that is not just the provider, not just the protector, but he can lead you, and he has also a great relationship with responsibility and stability. How does he regulate himself? Can he, when it comes to stressful situations, is he taking it out on you? Because emotional intelligence is the #1 key when it comes to finding a life partner. This is sideways. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Let me just fix this. Give me 1 second. Oh god. Okay, that's fine. I will just... Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sit here. And we'll just do it like this. Cool. There we go. That's That's better. Oh, that's funny. Okay. How can you repair after conflict? That's also really important because conflict is inevitable. Conflict resolution is, he can say he's someone that leans in, he can say he's someone that will talk about it and will keep you safe, but then when it actually, you have to always wait for it to happen, always wait for the action to happen, always wait for the challenging moment to occur. Doesn't matter, like, he can help you feel safe by his words, but you always have to see through actions with time. How does he lead his life? How is he a leader in his friendships, with his family, with the people around him? Those are all great indicators of how you can choose a better life partner. So I'm gonna wrap this up because this, oh, thank you, it was not my birthday, but hello. I'm gonna wrap this live up. If you came in late, I would highly recommend you watch the whole thing. I know it's completely sideways, but this is the first time here and I'm excited to do more of these. Just let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of. And when it comes to choosing a life partner, please, please, please choose someone whose nervous system, values, capacity create a life that is going to be safe for you in the long term, is going to nurture children, or if you don't want children, then a family for both of you to grow, whether that's through legacy or through mission and alignment and values. And so when I say don't just look for princess treatment or queen treatment and to look to be spoiled or be given money, but look to create conscious, loving families for the next generation to come, because that is the key to evolution in humankind, especially in the days of AI. Okay, so my love, I'm so grateful for you to be here. I will see you in the next live.